Have you ever imagined if we try to pass null between static and non-static method where null is the exact match for both static method parameter as well as for non-static method parameter? Then in that case will there be any ambiguity or it will happily executed? So it is like, let's say I am having non-static method and one static method. So let's say if I ask you the first very basic question, what is the difference between static method and non-static method? Then your standard definition might be like this, like non-static method belongs to each object that is generated from that class. Basically you have to create the object to call this method, right? And if I ask about the static method, then you might give me the answer like static method belongs to class itself. That is like if you want to access this method, you can access it something called directly like main dot test, and here you can provide, let's say 12, 13, whichever, right? Okay, I'm trying to construct a question in front of you. So now let's say main dot test, when I'm doing, then there is only one test method visible, that is the static one. So non-static method is something which belongs to object, and here we are not creating any object. Now my question is, let's say if I ask you, if I pass 10, then answer would be from static method. Now if I try to pass null from here, now my questions to you is, what would be the output? As you can see that this test is visible, right? And you are also saying your definition that static method belongs to class itself, and now I am trying to call main.test and I'm trying to pass null. This method not is even to the picture with respect to your definition, right? So if I try to pass main.test null, then what would be the output? From static method would be the output, or you will say it's a compile time error, ambiguity. What would be your answer? That you are saying, okay, as we can see that with respect to your definition, only this method is visible, right? Then let's say you are saying this from static method would be the output. Interviewer may ask you like whichever answer you are giving, then they can ask you why, explain. Then in this case you can explain, yeah, from static method, because main.test only this method is visible, so this test will accept this null happily. So your explanation is right with respect to your question. But you can see if I try to remove this, ambiguity is the answer. The method test string is ambiguous of the type main. So basically compile time error, ambiguity is the answer. Hope you are getting this. Like this test method is only visible, and with respect to your definition, now what about your basic definition which you try to explain? So this is like main.test, I am trying to pass null, then her question would be, why compile time error or ambiguity I am fetching? If you are saying that only this method visible with respect to class, I am not even call this method, and they even want to show you like again, yes, you can see your test string x is not visible, then why the compiler error is there? Now they are asking why, explain. And hint from my side is, it's a compile time polymorphism. At the compile time only these methods would got to know. In fact, we call it a static binding. That's because why we are calling it early binding. All these names are given to method overloading just because they always get to know at compile time with respect to your argument whichever you are passing. And if you have further explanation on this, write into comment box. Answers are welcome always.